Hey, everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here. Coming to you after Eastern Conference Finals Game One, Knicks Pacers, and I've seen a lot of playoff games in my day. I don't think I've quite seen one that ended quite like what happened at the Garden tonight. And if you're a Knicks fan, I feel sorry for you. I texted a couple of buddies of mine as this got close near the end, as the Pacers were they were getting down a double digit lead. They were down 14 with just under with 250 to go in this game. And I even said to my sister as I was watching this game, don't if this gets to 7 with it inside of 50 seconds, I'd be worried. I texted one of my buddies and I was like, I'm getting nightmares about this because there's something about this Indiana team that just lives off of the most insane basketball magic that we've ever seen. Um, I've never seen anything like this. And if you and listen, Cleveland Cavs fans, you can actually breathe a sigh of relief. You don't have to be, and Milwaukee Bucks fans, you don't have to be part of one of the most insane. I don't even know if you could call it a collapse or if you could call it an insane comeback because, Indiana just got hot. Aaron Nesmith turned into Reggie Miller for about 2 minutes. But the Pacers were, with 40 seconds to go in this game, were down 8 points. And somehow they tied this game. Tyrese Halliburton thought he hit a game-winning three that went about 15 feet in the air and went dropped through the basket. Did the Reggie Miller choke sign, realized he didn't hit a three. They had to play another overtime. And then the Knicks, just because they play like 7-8 guys, had nothing left. Indiana looked like they were as fresh as a daisy. And the Pacers win 138-135. And this is a 1-0 series lead for Indiana in one of the most improbable games that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. It really is insane. Jalen Brunson was nuts. He had 5 fouls. The Knicks managed to actually, get a double-digit lead with him out of the game. And like I said, this was let me go back to 250. So let me go back to 251 left in the game. Jalen Brunson hits a three. It's 119-105. You absolutely have to win that game. Jalen Brunson with 58.1 seconds hits a driving layup. It's 121-112. Then they trade threes. Nesmith hits a three, and then Karl Anthony Towns hits a layup, and it's 123-115. So let me say this first off. So from the 250 mark, so basically from the 314 mark, where this was a 14-point game at the 324 mark, Aaron Nesmith hits a three. He hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He hit 5 threes in the last 3 minutes of this game in a row. And then he had 2 free throws as well that cut this lead to 1. And the Knicks missed some free throws at the end, which were kind of important. OG Anunoby missed one, and that was critical. They're calling it a 23-foot step-back jump shot, and it's just like, I mean, holy mackerel, man. This is one of the wildest playoff wins, one of the wildest playoff games that I've ever seen in my life. And Knicks fans are going to be defeated, but first and foremost, let's do the Knicks side of this before we do anything, because as one of my mentors in this business, Ben Maller, says, the best story is in the losing locker room. So if you're the Knicks, you've got to look at this and say, hey, we had a 14-point lead. Aaron Nesmith turned into Steph Curry, Reggie Miller's love child, and hit 5 consecutive threes. He scored 17 points in the last 3 minutes of regulation. Like, when is that ever going to happen again? Divine intervention. I don't know. The Knicks just completely were gassed. You still have the clutch player, and you played with incredible energy, and you've got to feel at least, okay, as defeating as this may look, if you're the Knicks, you're like, okay, we got Pacered, I guess. And the Pacers are as insane of a comeback team as there is. The Pacers can't shoot like this the rest of the series, because remember, they hit like their first 8 shots to start this game. Like, this is not normal shit that's going on. So you could take that if you're the Knicks and go into Friday and basically say, hey, if we just get this one, let's go to Indiana, try to get it back. and you've got a very clutch team that could potentially do something like that. So you're conceivably, like I said, I by no means by one game think that this series is over. It is deflating, and if you're a Knicks fan, you've seen this level of heartbreak before. Guys, welcome to the party. Welcome to the fucking party. The Cavs have dealt with this. If you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan out there, I literally was saying this, watching this with my sister, when this got started to whittle down a little bit, when it was 14 and then it started to get under 10, I was like, man, just don't let this get to like 7 or 8, because the Pacers can make that happen. And it's not like it's not like the Pacers, like, there was a couple of like, just marginal, like, inbounding plays that they had some breaks go their way. But man, like, it's just so much crazy shit had to happen at the end of this game for the New York Knicks to lose. So, silver lining, if you're the Knicks, you've got a chance to potentially salvage this and, maybe get this back and make this a compelling series. Because listen, we knew coming in that this was going to be a war, that this was going to be a very competitive series. So, just because they lost one game in the manner that they did doesn't mean that this is over. Now, to the Indiana side of this thing. I said this about the Knicks when they were beating up on the Celtics. I said this about the Knicks. I'm starting to get Team of Destiny vibes about Indiana. Because, listen, they now have 3 of the craziest playoff comebacks that I've ever seen in my entire life in the span of a month. In the span of a month, this team has 3 of the most insane playoff comebacks that I've ever seen. They've come back from down by they have at least had 3 comebacks from down 7 points in the final 45 seconds of each game, which they were down 8 in this one with 40 seconds to go. They were down 7 to both Milwaukee and Cleveland. And they won every single game. They had to go to overtime to get this done, but that's neither here nor there. But Indiana is starting to feel like a team of destiny. They are a wildly fun and wildly entertaining team with the style of play that they play. But I will say it again. And I said it on my social media, we are 6 games away, 6 wins away from the NBA's absolute fucking worst nightmare of an NBA Finals. From a basketball perspective, it might be the best NBA Finals that they could have with Indiana and Oklahoma City. But I'm here to tell you, man, that is a ratings disaster. I will go on record and say this, and you can mark this, clip this. If Indiana faces Oklahoma City in the NBA Finals, which based off what we're seeing right now, they're both up 1-0 in their series. If it's Indiana and Oklahoma City, I'm here to tell you, there's a strong possibility that a Caitlin Clark regular season Indiana Fever game will outrate the NBA Finals. And that is not a reflection of either one of those teams. That is a reflection of, hey, parity and, small market teams do not sell in the NBA. And as great as Tyrese Halliburton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are, like, that's just not going to register on television screens. It's not going to be good. It's like from basketball nerds and basketball, like, fans, like, who are really in the weeds in basketball, that is the ultimate matchup because they're both deep. They both play really good offense. They really are aggressive on defense. It would really be interesting to see if Indiana's level of physicality is going to be allowed, because it was allowed in this game, and they got away with a lot of stuff on Jalen Brunson. It'll be interesting to see if that happens if they were to face Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't even want to think about that right now. I want 6 more of these games with Indiana and New York. And I think the Knicks can absolutely come back and win this series, but they have got to flush this away as quickly as possible because that was a collapse. That was an insane comeback. And Indiana, as of right now, they're this is unheard of, some of the shit that they've been able to do in the last month of playoff basketball. And as a Cavs fan, it's just like you have to look at this and be like, holy shit, man, this is an otherworldly type of run, because in what universe does Aaron Nesmith get 17 points in the last 3 minutes and turn into fucking Steph Curry and Reggie Miller? Tyrese Halliburton gets a 15-foot in the air bounce that drops through the Madison Square Garden net. Throws up a Reggie Miller choke sign even though he hadn't won the game, and the Pacers still won. This might be a team of destiny, everybody. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. Like, I listen. This Knicks team for basically about 45 minutes of this game was the better team. I mean, maybe early on in this game when Indiana was just hitting a bunch of shots, but it's just like, I don't know, man. What an insane game. What an insane game. So yeah, we'll see where this goes, man. But now we shift to Oklahoma City and Minnesota on Thursday night, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.